So this is my first pencil drawing on Clairefontaine Pastelmat, and I thought I'd share some of my thoughts about it. I have done quite a few pastel works on Pastelmat, so I'll show a picture of them now on the screen. I thought I would start with a picture that was inside of some tape, so because I've heard that it can smudge quite a bit, whereas I was aware of that happening when I was doing pastels. I'm not sure how much it smudges doing coloured pencil, so I thought I'd give it a go with it completely bordered off. So if there are any smudges, then it will be inside the actual drawing and not on the white that I usually have. So far I found it to be a really nice surface to work on. It's quite vibrant, so normally when I go down on my Fabriano, it takes a while for the colour to get quite vibrant and build up, whereas I found with the Pastelmat it's really nice straight away. You know, your colours go down really well and they're quite vibrant. So the only thing is this surface has like a grain to it, almost like a real fine sandpaper, which can be quite annoying to people that aren't used to it. But because I've used it before with pastels, I'm aware of what it's like. So if you were to go out and buy this, you would be quite shocked if you're used to normal smooth papers. But because of that, the colour lays down quite vibrant straight off. And you can build up your layers a lot quicker than if you were to use Fabriano or any other papers. It takes a while to get that vibrancy. So I think so far I'm really quite enjoying this paper. Hopefully this video will give you a bit of an insight into whether you want to invest in buying a sheet of it, because you can buy separate, I think you can buy separate sheets from Jackson's and that kind of thing, but I managed to get this white piece from Blick when I went to Chicago. So yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I mean, you can see how vibrant the eyes are. I've just laid down some background. I haven't finished it yet. I'm just working my way around it just to get a feel for the paper. This is what the pad looks like. Pastelmat palette number 2. It includes brown, sienna, white, and charcoal grey. It's just a small pad. It's only 9 by 5 by 12 inches. I don't know how much I paid for this. Probably about $35, maybe $40. It's quite expensive paper, but I think it's worth it. So in between each sheet you get a piece of glassine paper. It's like thin, smooth paper. In case you don't know what that is, it protects each sheet. You get one between each sheet. You can use that to either protect your artwork when you've finished it, or I use it just to put against my work so I hold my hand over it when I'm drawing, so my oils from my fingers don't go on my work. I use this or tracing paper, depending if I've got any spare. It gets a bit annoying though, it bends up and goes everywhere. But it's really good for stopping you ruining your work. And then it does fall off like that, which is quite annoying. I need to cut a new piece out. So I found with drawing on Pastelmat, if you use like a Polychromos, which is a harder pencil, you can get a nice fine point and you can get into the grain of the Pastelmat because it's quite a grainy surface compared to what I'm used to. So again with a harder pencil. And then you can, if you wanted to, you could go over the top with a more softer waxy pencil. I'll probably just go over with either Polychromos. Well, I'll do dark indigo next and then a bit of sepia just to fill these nostrils in. I definitely feel like I'm working quicker on this paper compared to the Fabriano. The Fabriano is really hard work to build up your layers. So I am finding this quite enjoyable compared to when I work on my Fabriano. So I'm not sure how much quicker I'll be because I do work at a glacial pace. But then I have that perfectionistic thing that I am working on. So yeah, I definitely feel that this might help me to speed up. So I do like the paper for that as well. I'm not saying I would switch to this because I think it's nice to try different papers, and I think different papers look good for different styles of work or images that you're working on. I'd say so far this is giving quite a nice softer look. I mean, I haven't finished the fur, I've only just done a bottom layer of it, so I wouldn't have a clue about the fur yet. But I know when I worked in pastel on this that it had such a almost ethereal soft quality to it when I worked in pastel, and I didn't really want to stop working in pastel. It was just I struggled to set it, and I was always worried about it smudging and that kind of thing, and that's why I prefer working in coloured pencil. I know a lot of people complain about pencil sharpness and the pencil going down blunting when they use this paper, but I don't have my pencils that sharp anyway, so I haven't really noticed the pencil going down loads or using up any more pencil than I normally would use. It's working well with a grain actually for the nose, because you want a kind of grainy look on the nose, so I think that is helping. And even though it can be quite grainy, I managed to get the eyes quite smooth, as you can see, just by going over them. I did on this eye use, I should say, on this eye I used a bit of solvent, so I used this solvent pen, and I didn't like what it did. It put it into the grain of the paper so much that it made it sort of too dark around here, and I didn't like that. So I didn't do the same with this other eye. So I know that solvent works really well on Pastelmat, but I didn't like what it did when I did that eye. So just be aware of that. It's something you can test. I mean, try it out on a little bit or something, but just don't go crazy. These indenting tools. This is just a cheap makeup, not makeup, but one of those manicurist brushes that people use. So it's got a nice fine point on the end for doing indenting, and I did that and it worked well on this paper. So I thought I'd try that out on a small bit of the ear. I didn't want to go crazy doing it all over just in case it didn't work. You can do it for things like the wisps on there. But just be aware, if you use one of these things, if you want it white, do it at the start. And if you want it the colour of you know, like a orange or the other strand that you want it, do it after you've laid your pencil down. Don't do it because it will be white, and if you don't want it white, don't do it before. So that worked really well. It works the same as on other papers that I've used, so that was a nice bonus. Something that you've done wrong, so I've done this little bit here wrong. This is my Faber-Castell kneadable eraser, so it does remove quite well off this paper. It comes off quite nicely. If I was to struggle to remove something with this, so I use this lightly, and if I want something a bit stronger, then I use blue tack, but I use this one, white tack, which is quite expensive to get in Canada. I think I paid astronomical price of $17 for it on Amazon, because I can't find it anywhere else. And in the UK, where I'm from, it's like £3, or not even that, I don't think. But it is the best thing for removing any, obviously don't go crazy with it because it will lift off quite a lot. So I use this when I've done something majorly wrong and I want the whole lot of colour to come off. And then I use this stuff when I just want to lightly take a bit off, blend it out and that kind of thing, do nice marks with it, add a bit of light in areas. But the blue tack is great if you make a big mistake. The thing I found with this paper is that you can go lights over dark, whereas you can't with other papers with coloured pencil. So I've got my favourite white pencil that I would use for at the end for brightness, and it goes really well over the top of this. So this is already quite white anyway, but if you want to brighten it up, it really brightens it up compared to if I was to use it on the Fabriano Artistico. I would have a job going over and making that as bright as it is here. And then just blow away any bits. Because as before I said about the smudging, I'm not sure if I would go in with my brush and wipe away any bits, just in case it does smudge. I just need to get more familiar with the paper before I do things that could ruin the final image. I quickly forgot to mention was that the slice tool works really well on this paper, because in my other video when I've talked about the Fabriano, I've said that you need to put lots of layers down of wax pencil to make your slice tool work on that paper. But on this, it seems to work really well. I did a little test bit here, because obviously I wouldn't use these until the end of doing this image. So I now have a new one. I don't like this one. This one is really irritating. This is my new one. It's got a much finer, smaller blade. Really nice. It's metal. It just feels really nice to hold as well. So I've just invested in one of these, because my old one, you couldn't really see the end because it just pokes out the top here, and it's wobbly, and the blade was a lot bigger than this one. If I just show you, so I'm trying to film with one hand, holding it both, so you can see the blade difference. Obviously you could probably buy this blade to go in this one, but I was really struggling with this one, so nice little slice tool to go in my art kit. Some YouTubers have mentioned that you get some problems with this paper where you can see the light in the light, the grain. Can you see that or not? See it? I've seen from other YouTubers that you can get some problems with the grain, so it's not evenly spread all over your sheet of paper. There's some gaps. Some people have started doing a really, sorry, I can't focus this very well. It's been a, yeah, some people get some problems with gaps in the grain where it's been missed, not printed properly on the paper. So I think there are a few videos on how to fix that, or someone's done some grains, or you can write and complain to Clairefontaine, but by then you would have already half done a piece of work and you're in trouble. But I never noticed it at all when I did the pastels on it. I think it's just the unlucky every now and again you might have it. But I think there is a YouTube video to how to fix that if you do run into that. If it's like a big patch and you're doing something like a massive bird and you got this patch where his face is or something annoying like that. But that's the only thing I've heard. Apart from that, I think it's extremely good quality paper. The one thing I will say about it is quite annoying for, let me just grab the pad a sec. I got my blanket on me because it's like -16 today or something. It's really cold. It does curl, so the paper looks like, so you've got that, like I said, the I've forgotten what it's called on it. I said it earlier. Brain's gone to mush. So the back is like card, so it's quite thick. It does curl on the edges. It can like round up a little bit, but if you tack it down like I've done, so I've got my blue tape here and I've got that to hold it down. But it's not that bad. You can get board as well of it, so a thicker board, I think. But like I said, I'm just trying it out just to see if I want to use it for future. I hope you enjoyed this video and you get something from it today. Thanks for watching.